In yesterday's video, we discussed the HIPAA authorization. Today, we're going to be discussing the financial powers of attorney. What is a financial power of attorney? What are the three kinds of financial powers of attorney? And what should you consider when selecting your agents? If you're new here, hi, I'm Vicki. I'm sharing over 4 decades of experience caring for elderly family members so you can learn from the mistakes that they made by not planning for aging. So let's head back to the board. A POA is a legal document that grants someone the authority to act on your behalf. There are typically 3 types of power of attorney. An attorney or other legal professional can help you understand which of these are applicable in your state. So let's dive into the first 2 types. First, there's general power of attorney, which grants broad powers to the person you appoint, equivalent to the same authority as you to make financial, legal, and business decisions on your behalf. Then there's limited power of attorney, which grants narrower authority to act on your behalf in specific situations. So I'll use the following example to illustrate the difference between the two. You decide to jump on the world cruise craze and booked your cabin on the SS I'm Outta Here for a year. You want the freedom to enjoy your time away, but you also want to make sure your assets are appropriately managed while you're gone. So you decide to grant your daughter general power of attorney to manage all of your affairs as if she were you. She will be able to sell your business, buy and trade your stocks, buy and sell your properties, write checks against your bank accounts, move money around, merge with another company, all of that. Translation, she can do anything she wants with your assets during this time. But after you slept on it, you realized granting broad powers to a 25-year-old to make all of those decisions on her own may not be in your best interest. Instead, you decide to grant limited powers, which will only allow her to pay your bills, personal and business, transfer money between your accounts to cover the expenses, hire and fire certain levels of personnel at your company, and negotiate contracts with suppliers for just the next 12 months. During this time, she will not have the authority to make decisions about anything else outside of those powers. All other decisions will be made by you during your travels or will wait until you return. But should you become incapacitated during this time, the powers you granted to your daughter become ineffective on the day of your incapacitation. And that leaves no one with legal authority to mind the store, and you are in no position to make decisions for yourself. And that's where the third type of POA comes into play. Durable power of attorney. Durable power of attorney allows for the powers you granted in a general or limited POA to remain in effect when you become incapacitated, and your agent can continue managing your affairs. Now that you know the types of financial POAs, there's something else you also need to consider when creating yours, deciding when it will become effective. And you have options here too. First, the powers can become effective as soon as they're exercised. To exercise a power of attorney, the document must be submitted to the financial institutions and third parties to acknowledge your agent's newly given authority. Once they have received and accepted the POA, your agent is free to manage your affairs within the limits documented in the POA. Or you can create a springing power of attorney, which identifies the event or events that allow the powers to be exercised. Here are some examples of triggering events. The most common triggering event for a springing power of attorney is incapacitation. You may specify the power of attorney becomes effective when you are deemed incapacitated or unable to make decisions for yourself as determined by a medical professional or other specified criteria. You may also state the power of attorney only becomes effective upon the occurrence of a physical or mental disability that renders you unable to handle your own affairs as determined by medical professionals or specified criteria. Or you may specify the power of attorney can be triggered by your absence or unavailability for an extended period of time, such as travel, military service, or other reasons specified in the document. Or you may specify the power of attorney become effective upon the certification or determination of incapacity by a designated physician, healthcare provider, or legal authority. You may also specify the power of attorney be triggered by a specific date or event specified, such as reaching a certain age, the occurrence of a milestone event, or any other event deemed appropriate by you. When my father-in-law became incapacitated, that event allowed my husband to exercise the durable springing general power of attorney in his trust, and that enabled my husband to step in to manage his parents' finances, pay their bills, and file their taxes. If you find this information helpful, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. That lets me know you want more content like this. Now let's head back to the board. There's one more thing you need to consider when drafting your POA: appointing your agents. You also have options here, and each option comes with their own set of pros and cons. Let's run through them. You can select a single agent. Having one agent simplifies decision making and avoids the potential for conflicts that could arise when multiple agents are assigned, and this can be more efficient. With only one agent, there's consistency in decision making, financial management, and communication without the potential for conflicting instructions or approaches. And with only one agent, there's a reduced risk of sensitive information being shared among multiple parties, which maintains your privacy and confidentiality about your affairs. On the flip side, having one agent with significant financial authority carries the risk of abuse. If the agent acts dishonestly or irresponsibly, there may be fewer checks and balances in place to detect misconduct or mismanagement should the agent not act in your best interests. Delays and complications can arise if the agent becomes incapacitated, is unwilling to act, becomes unavailable, or passes away before you. And suboptimal outcomes could result if the agent lacks expertise in areas to which they have been granted powers. Co-agency with limited powers allows each agent to play to their strengths and ensures the tasks are assigned to the individuals best equipped to manage them efficiently. For example, the son who works as a CPA may be better suited to manage the taxes and pay your bills than the son who just started college and is juggling classes and a part-time job. By limiting the powers to their area of expertise, they have clear expectations of their role and responsibilities, minimizing confusion and conflicts. Also, each agent has the authority to act independently without the need to gain approval from another person or obtain their signatures. On the flip side, effective communication and collaboration between the agents is essential to ensure decisions made by one agent do not overlap or conflict with actions managed by another agent. For example, you have an agent in charge of paying your bills and one in charge of managing your retirement planning and investments, and they utilize the same bank accounts to carry out their duties. The person paying the bills is reliant upon distributions from their retirement accounts to be in the bank by a certain time each month. But the retirement planning agent got a hot tip and decided to redirect a portion of the retirement account distributions to buy stock in a hot new company to maximize your returns. This change could adversely impact the agent in charge of keeping the lights on by reducing his cash flow to pay the bills. Also, if the powers granted to each co-agent are not comprehensive enough, gaps in coverage could result and certain financial decisions may be overlooked or neglected, leading to inefficiencies and missed opportunities. And despite the clear allocation of powers, disputes between co-agents may still arise and require negotiation and mediation. Co-agency with equal powers. They share the burden of decision-making and financial management, which can prevent one agent from becoming overwhelmed. You've heard the saying, 2 heads are better than 1. Each agent can monitor the actions of the others, reducing the risk of abuse of power or financial misconduct. Each agent can bring their different perspectives, skills, and expertise to the table, which can allow for more comprehensive consideration and lead to better outcomes. And should one agent become incapacitated, unavailable, pass before you, or be unwilling to act, the co-agent can continue without any interruption because they have the same powers. But on the flip side, having equal powers, one agent may disagree, and having to resolve disagreements could lead to delays or conflicts if compromise, negotiation, or remediation cannot resolve the matter quickly. Managing affairs with multiple agents is more complex and requires greater coordination. Effective communication, collaboration, and decision-making processes are essential to ensure that the tasks are conducted efficiently. Using the same example as we talked about discussing limited powers, one agent could make a move that negatively impacts the ability to keep the lights on. And each agent could be held liable for any mishandling of finances, which can increase the legal and financial risk for each co-agent when one co-agent acts without the knowledge or consent of the others. For example, while they have equal authority and do not have to consult each other, if one agent mismanages the funds and there isn't enough money to pay the taxes, both agents could be held liable. The right agents can provide invaluable support and peace of mind during challenging times, while the wrong choice could lead to financial mismanagement and conflict. So invest the time and effort to carefully select agents who you trust implicitly and who will faithfully execute your wishes. Your financial security and well-being depend on it. In tomorrow's video, we'll discuss what you can expect to pay your trustee or executor. You can find all the videos in this series in this Estate Planning 101 playlist. If you've made it this far with me, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.